This afternoon on JoyNews, rescuers in Accra West Municipality of Volta region recover body of a man believed to have drowned when a canoe he was traveling capsized on the Volta Lake following strong winds. And also, Ghana Water Company issues flood warnings for communities around Weja, Oblogo, Tetegu, and Bawe as it prepares to spill the dam this weekend. And also in this bulletin, global human rights body Amnesty International expresses concern about Ghana's deteriorating human rights record as its latest report shows there were several violations of the right to freedom of expression and police use of excessive force, among others. We have this and more here on the JoyNews channel. Enjoy Prime with me, Razak Musbau. Do stay. Welcome back. Now, rescuers in Accra West Municipality of Volta region have recovered the body of a man believed to have drowned when a canoe he was traveling capsized on the Volta Lake. It follows what eyewitnesses say were strong winds on the lake, which forced some passengers to abandon the trip. Volta regional correspondent Peter Senu have been following this story and joins us via Zoom for more on this. Peter, if you're on Zoom, if you can hear me, can you tell us exactly what happened relative to this canoe capsizing on the Volta Lake?
Right, Razak. We know that last Friday, some passengers were returning from Ketekrachi, the municipal capital, to some of these island communities. And along the line, the main boat on which they were traveling and stopped over to allow a storm to subside, and some of the passengers got down to say hi to their friends in these communities. And so before they returned to the lakeside, the main boat had left, and so they decided to use one fishing boat to reach their destination. So it was in this process that they met another storm. The boat capsized, leading to the death of two of the passengers on board the canoe. And so, as we speak, the bodies have been retrieved and at the Ketekrachi Municipal Government Hospital. Razak.
Interesting, but we also understand there is a search for a woman who was also on board this canoe. Can you bring us up to speed on that, whether the person has been found since the incident occurred?
Yes, Razak. The body of the woman has also been found. And the two bodies now, as we speak, are at the Ketekrachi Municipal Government Hospital.
Interesting. But what are the authorities also saying about this incident, if any?
Well, for now, we have not had any official communication to this regard. But what we do know is that NADMO, over the past month, has intensified education along some of these communities, the island communities. And so education is ongoing with regard to what to do when there is a storm. And sometimes one of these is to pack and then allow the storm to subside before they continue the journey. So authorities are doing their part of their bit in terms of education along these communities.
Interesting. Peter, thanks very much. Of course, keep following that and let's get to know what happens afterwards and if any other development from it. Thank you very much, Peter. Now, the human rights organization, Amnesty International, says it has noticed a surge in police brutality across the country, including attacks on journalists in line of duty. Now, country director of Amnesty International in Ghana, Genevieve Patterson, raised the concern on foreign affairs on JoyNews when she explained to host Bledes at Soga that a number of these infractions were captured in the latest global report on the state of human rights by Amnesty International. This is what Ms. Patterson had to say.
There are highs and lows in Ghana. I think every year something comes up, we go low sometimes, and then we a few steps forward, a few steps back. So right now the issue is, for example, we just launched our human rights report, state of human rights all over the world. Right. 154 countries. It's available online. It's completely free. You can download it with PDF. And it covers Ghana, and Ghana is not looking too good because we've done things like forced evictions, because under the international law, we're not allowed to force people out of their homes. We're looking at police brutality. There have been a number of cases where you journalists have been attacked by the police wrongfully. At the end of the day, even if you've done something wrong, you are innocent until proven guilty, right? So you need to be treated as such. So you can't have police, asking you to do inhumane things whilst you are, waiting trial or being held against your will. So, the police brutality has gone up in the reports. Freedom of expression is an issue. We also have LGBTI rights, people's rights, because we know that the anti-LGBTI bill
for now
under consideration, but it's going to abuse so many international laws. I know people are I don't want this, but the issue is nobody is asking you to accept people who care for a different sexual orientation. We're just saying that they live amongst us, leave them alone. No, don't criminalize it, just leave them alone as they were. Nothing is happening.
What will a country such as Ghana do to regain that trust and the good standing when it comes to the respect for human rights across the world?
It's not just about ratifying international laws, because I always say Ghana is very good at that. We have a lot of learned people. We ratify laws all the time. We're very good at that. But the implementation is the problem. We rely a lot on funding from outside. That is the main issue. I think if we cut down less of that and look more on domestic mobilization of resources, we'll be able to, help our people better. So I think human rights in general, there's hope in Ghana. I don't want to dampen anyone's spirits. Yeah. And, we just decriminalized attempted suicide, which is amazing for the Mental Health Authority and all the persons that, are for, mental health issues. So that's one step in the right direction. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that things will get better, but we as a people need to do the work.
Now, the public service is a call to duty, not an avenue for corruption. That's their caution from Public Service Commission to all public sector workers. State agencies have been saddled with corrupt practices over the years, with the Auditor General's report indicating a 36% rise in financial irregularities. However, Commissioner of the Public Services Commission, Dr. Nana Agyeman Frimpong, says prospective employees in the public sector must dedicate themselves to a good cause that serves the interest of all. He was speaking on the sidelines of a seminar on developing the next generation of public sector workers, managers, organized by the Public Administration Student of GIMPA.
The Public Administration Students Association, as part of its Union Week celebration, organized a seminar for its members who have largely been identified as the next generation of public sector workers. Under the auspices of the School of Public Service and Governance at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, the student group brought together experts and public sector practitioners to impart the next generation of students. Gilbert Atipo is president of the Public Administration Students Association at GIMPA.
I must say that the topic of the program was carefully selected because we realized that the public sector lacks a lot of efficiency. So we came up with this topic to see how we can reshape the next generation of public sector managers. And so you hear the lecturer, Dr. Agyeman, who is the man who does recruitment for governments, talking about the requisite skills that one needs to have as a public sector manager.
Touching on the essence of public service, Commissioner of the Public Services Commission, Dr. Nana Agyeman Frimpong, who also spent some time with the students, tells JoyNews that prospective employees in the public sector must dedicate themselves to a good cause that serves the interest of all, devoid of corrupt practices.
Above all, be honest and be a man or a woman of what? Integrity. When you put all these variables, when you put them together, then as a public sector manager, you can be very efficient. The Constitution is emphatic if you want to serve in the service. The public service is not a place to make money. The public service is a call to duty. It's a call to national service. And so my advice to people is that whenever you get an opportunity to serve, it's not an opportunity to enrich yourself, it's an opportunity to make your services available and serve our motherland. And so corruption exists everywhere, but there are enabling laws in this nation that, if well enforced, I believe we can minimize. You can never eradicate the corruption from any society. Even in advanced nations where we've all been to, corruption still, exists. It's just a matter of we as a nation implementing the enabling legislation that we have enacted to fight the corrupt activities in our system being effectively enforced. Once we do that as a nation, I think then you can minimize the levels of corruption.
He is also urging successive governments to build more institutions that will cater for the needs of the public sector.
You look at the needs that we have as a nation, the emerging needs that keeps on coming and coming. Successive administrations have to set up institutions to meet these emerging needs. Efficiency is about using less of a resource in getting the maximum output. And so, in the service, in order to get efficiency, people need to be well equipped. People need to apply themselves to the knowledge that they had in school. People need to also be acquainted with individuals who have occupied certain key positions in our society, learn from them how they were able to do it.
The Public Administration Students Association at Gimpa says it will in the coming days pursue further strategic partnerships that will transform the mindset of prospective public sector managers in order to ensure that they are efficient and effective at post.
And so yes, it is a nice program. And then the second part of it is the PASA Connect, where we'll be meeting with alumni to have a drinking session with them, interact with them, because a lot of public sector managers, politicians, ministers have been here, and they have all been to the Gimpa Public School. And so as an association, we want to bring all of them together so that we unite, so that we network, and then see how we can revive the association, Gimpa, PASA, as well as the students in general.
Now, the Ghana Water Company has says it may soon begin the spillage of excess water from the Wager Dam. This announcement is for warn citizens living downstream of the Wager Dam to begin evacuating the vicinity to avert any disaster when the spillage begins. According to the company, the level of the dam as of Friday, 28th of April, is 46 feet, just one below the maximum safe operating level of 47 feet. In a statement, the company said it will not hesitate to open the spill gate should the level go above 46.5 feet, so as not to compromise the integrity of the dam and to avert any disaster. Communities expected to be affected include Wager, Oglogo, Tetegu, and Gbawe. Now, communications manager at Ghana Water Company, Stanley Mate, joins me via Zoom for more on this very development. Mr. Mate, more rains are expected soon. So when will the spillage really start?
Thank you very, very much. We're expecting the spillage to begin maybe around Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. But unfortunately, the dam levels rose up beyond our expectation yesterday, so we had to start spilling. So yesterday in the evening, we started minimal spillage with one gate, and we are still monitoring the inflows so that we will increase it if the need arises. We have started minimal spillage because we want everybody to evacuate the area before we open the entire number of gates that we have. So it's essential that people, after hearing the announcement and the sensitization and everything that we've done within the communities, they will evacuate the area to forestall any eventuality.
So I understand you started the minimal spillage.
Yeah,
so you started. So when are you going to do the actual spillage itself? Is it today, or which Sunday are you referring to?
I'm monitoring the inflows into the dam. So the more inflows we get, the more gates we open. But this one actually serves as a caution to everybody who lives in that area. We have sensitized people living downstream to evacuate the area, and also to ensure by putting pressure on the the municipal assembly to demolish structures that impede the flow of the water into the sea. We also have cautioned the municipal assembly to dredge the estuary where the Densu River enters the sea, so that there will be easy flow into the sea. All precautionary measures have been taken, and I expect that things will work out if everybody should perform its role or should take up its responsibilities effectively. We have informed the chiefs and assemblymen and everybody who matter in the area about what is about to happen. And even apart from that, we also expect that, knowing that we are in the rainy season, there's a high opportunity or high chance for the spill gates to be open. So we expect people who have experienced such disaster before to be more cautious and to move or evacuate the area to avert any disaster.
All right, you mentioned you've been engaging the people in the area. I mean, how have they been receiving this news of the spillage that's about to happen, which has even already started?
The people living downstream have been, or let's say most of the people living downstream have been recalcitrant when it comes to evacuating that area. We have warned them several times over and over again. Every year we have to do the same thing. They'll tell you, oh, they'll move, and then they don't move until the unexpected happens. Yesterday, we were not expecting anything better than that, and that was what we were met with yesterday. There are some media houses who also went into the area and to interview them, and they also had the same resistance from the people. So there's nothing much we can do. The course of the river is a natural course created by God for the Densu River. So everybody living in that area came after or was recent. Everybody living there started living there in recent times, and so anybody living there may have experienced some of these disasters over and over, and they still are recalcitrant to move. For us as Ghana Water Company Limited, there's nothing much we can do than to inform the powers that be, including the NADMO and the National Security, the Municipal Assembly, to do what is expected of them, so that at least we will avert any disaster. If they are unable to do anything, and the people also living there refuse to evacuate, there's nothing much that can be done. We only pray that there wouldn't be any lives lost.
I mean, by engaging NADMO and the other security agencies, you are calling on them to forcefully evacuate the people. Is that what you're hoping they do, for you to be able to avert any disaster?
Exactly so. And I must tell you that beyond the dam isn't the responsibility of the Ghana Water Company Limited. We only get involved because we feel there are human lives involved. And so we want to add some human face to the whole thing. And that is why we spend money in sensitizing them and doing what we have to do, so that we will avert any calamity. But if the people there are recalcitrant and are refusing to move, there's nothing much that we can do. The rest should be that the duty or the responsibility of the Municipal Assembly, the NADBO, national security, and then the powers that be.
Mr. Marty, thank you very much for your time. That's Mr. Marty, the Communications Officer of Ghana Water Company, speaking to us on the spillage of the Wager Dam there. But away from that, the Electricity Company of Ghana has identified 28 institutions involved in power theft in the Ashanti region. The company has bailed some of the institutions who stole power through direct power connections, bypasses, among others, to the tune of 1 million Ghana cedis as part of its revenue mobilization drive. Ohimenteria of our security desk has more in the following report.
The Ashanti region accounts for 1.2 billion Ghana cedis, representing 21% of the 5.7 billion Ghana cedis owed by electricity consumers nationwide. Power theft accounts for a chunk of the commercial losses of the power company. ECG says the majority of the power thefts are orchestrated by unscrupulous persons parading themselves as staff of the company. Last week, 21 persons were arrested at Bohon, Barakasi and Kunsu for power theft. Over 20 second cycle institutions have also been caught in the illegality. General Manager, Network Projects at Ashanti SBU, Frederick Bediako, in an exclusive interview with JoyNews, named security, hospitality and health institutions as other worst culprits of power theft.
The work that we have done within the past 1 month, within the Agenda 2020, we have been able to identify about 28 institutions, ranging from the security to medical to hospitality industries, as well as some manufacturing industries, institutions that have done some bit of power theft, which we are in talks with through the Revenue Protection Unit to retrieve the energy that has been consumed and not paid for. So far, we have been able to bail about 1 million Ghana cedi. There's a major discussion that's going on to bail some other customers that would send the figure to way beyond 3 million Ghana cedi within Ashanti alone.
The Electricity Company of Ghana, through its Agenda 2020 program, is going after all power theft culprits. It will also ensure power consumed illegally is retrieved and perpetrators punished. Mr. Bediako cautions ECG customers against engaging unauthorized ECG staff.
Most of these things are also done by persons that are parading themselves as ECG representatives, but may not necessarily be ECG persons. This is because there are some contractors, some technical people that work within the ECG network that have also decided to clad themselves in the ECG logos and paraphernalia. We have had discussions with our contractors, and we have said that going forward, we've given a strong directive that going forward, every contractor is expected to build his or her own brand and not necessarily attach themselves to the ECG brand. So you would see that most of our contractors would have their logo, and then attached to it, you would see that there's an ECG logo attached to it, which we have said that it is giving a wrong impression to our customers out there. Customers should be very careful with who they deal with. The question would be, how do you differentiate between an ECG contractor or anybody that has a technical know-how to perform such services for you? The short code, which is the *226#. The fifth option, option 5, would give you the option to verify any person that is presenting himself as an ECG official.
From Kumasi, for JoyNews, Ohimenteria reporting.
We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with more. Please do stay. Welcome back. Now, the Amasaman District Magistrate Court has issued a bench warrant for the arrest of 35-year-old Francis Annan for allegedly visiting the homes of beneficiaries of the government affordable household toilet project and charging them fees for maintenance. Now, the project coordinator of the Greater Accra Metropolitan Area Sanitation and Water Project under the Ministry of Sanitation, Engineer George Osiedu, says his outfit will ensure the suspect and other fraudsters who are parading as officials of the project are punished. There is more in the following report.
Used to be a major problem. The Gama Sanitation and Water Project has made progress in addressing the challenge through the construction of more than 40,000 affordable toilets for homes in the city. However, some unscrupulous persons in recent times have started visiting homes under the guise of fixing non-existent problems with the biodigester toilets. One of them was recently arrested by the Gan West Municipal Assembly. The suspect, Francis Annan, was expected in court this week but failed to be present, forcing the court to issue a bench warrant for his arrest. Emmanuel Opoku resides at Amasaman. He is a victim of the scam.
The guy called me because he took a number from my wife. And he called me that he's from council. And they said my toilet is full, so he should come and draw it. So I chatted with him about the price. Then he said the last is 250. So I said, okay, you should do it.
Another victim at Amasaman has also been narrating his ordeal.
I think about 2 weeks ago, I wasn't around at the moment. I was at the worksite, and some guy came here, called me that he's from the assembly, right? Clean up. Assembly, I sent him to come and clean the biodigester. I said, okay, well, already I've been waiting for this kind of opportunity. So I asked him, how much does it cost? He says 300. So later I sent him Momo 1.5 to come and do it.
Environmental Health Officer at the Gan West Municipal Assembly, Catherine Ashigbe, says the assembly has received about 15 complaints.
So we're looking for means to get hold of those people. And so last 2 weeks, when another beneficiary came complaining that he wasn't at home when a gentleman by name Francis Annan came around, that we have sent him to come and service his digester. So unknown to him, he allowed him to service the digester. But after he came home, he realized some defects. He opened and realized that there are certain materials that should be in the digester. They weren't in it. We caused his arrest.
Coordinator for the Gama Sanitation and Water Project, Engineer George Osiedu, says the culprits will be made to face the full rigors of the law.
First of all, we're just from the court, and what they do is that they come to your home and then they tell you that your biodigester toilet is full, and so they have to dislodge it at a fee. And they charge between 350 Ghana cedis to about 500 Ghana cedis. And whether you like it or not, they insist that you must pay. So they start opening your digesters and then removing almost everything from the digester. They can't even reinstate it, and then they ask you to pay money. What we are saying is that this is not coming from any assembly, it's not from the project, it is not from, but I'm not surprised because since the inception of the Gama project, we have provided a total of about 41,000 household toilets, mostly biodigesters, and this is in the effort towards increasing access to improve toilet sanitation and also meeting the SDG goals, which is the main target. And knowing the numbers that we have constructed, they thought that they could make business out of this. What we are saying is that it is not the Assembly's duty, neither is it the ministry's duty to be moving from house to house, insisting that they forcefully open your digesters. Anybody that comes in with that message is a fraudster, and that you must report such a person to the authorities for us to take the appropriate action against them. We are lucky we've arrested one person, and the person has been arraigned before courts, and the end result is for everybody to guess. You may end up in prison, or you will be also charged for the digester that you have damaged. And so what we are saying is that the ministry and the assembly have not sent anybody to forcefully open any digester. Anybody going around, we are warning you, it is not allowed, it is criminal, and anybody caught in that act should be arrested and prosecuted. We have arrested one person, and the court has issued a bench warrant to arrest him when we arranged him before court. He failed to appear today. And so we are going to go for him and we take the appropriate actions as will be allowed by the law. Otherwise, if the law places its hands on them, we will take the appropriate action and the consequences can be far-reaching.
Mosquito is thought to be responsible for an increase in malaria incidents in Djibouti at a time when the country was scheduled to be declared malaria-free. Now, they may be found in relatively small numbers, but are known to be efficient transmitters of malaria. In the last of our series on Anopheles stephensi, JoyNews medical correspondent Dr. Netta Parsam looks at what the mosquito is efficient in transmitting malaria parasites.
Hi there. So far in this series, we've learned that the peak biting times of the Anopheles stephensi mosquito is between
6 to 9 before you go to sleep.
We've also understood that it's able to withstand a range of temperatures.
About 3.4 degrees Celsius lower and higher than that of the Anopheles can be.
Additionally, we've learned that it's gaining resistance against many insecticides.
It has 29 insecticide-resistant genes.
The Anopheles stephensi mosquito has been found to be effective transmitters of the Plasmodium parasite, even though they may be found in small numbers.
There has been studies, specific experiments, where Anopheles gambiae has been compared to Anopheles stephensi, where they were all given the same blood meal containing the same amount of parasites, estimated parasites. You realize that when they were given parasite from Africa, both of them delivered the same. I mean, the establishment of infection and production of oocysts that eventually will turn into sporozoid to invade the salivary gland were comparable. But when they were given parasites from Asia, you realize that the Anopheles stephensi was able to develop more parasites, establish higher infections compared to that of the Anopheles gambiae, which means that per bite is capable of injecting more sporozoids compared to that of Anopheles gambiae. And if it behaves the same in our country, it means that even in low densities, they have the capacity to transmit more infectious dose of parasites.
Still, let's gear up and fight against the Anopheles stephensi mosquito and other mosquito species out there. Remember to sleep under insecticide-treated mosquito nets. Wear long clothing. Make use of insect repellents. And indoor residual spraying. For JoyNews, Dr. Netta Parsam.
Now, the flag bearer hopeful of the New Patriotic Party, Alan Tremartin, says a vote for him to lead the MPP into the 2024 polls is the best chance the party has to retain power. According to him, he has received overwhelming support from all the regions he traveled to. He believes that is enough evidence for delegates to choose his candidature. He was speaking to party faithfuls at the Edruwoso Health Walk organized by his team in the Greater Accra region.
Na phone na ndaba to abama ye ansani ya break e no ti woni delegates no kasa no na woni Ghana for so kasa aya Ghana for na be mi break e no anunti ana bedi asida e ma Ghana for nyina no abi before ya butai ba ko e tatayanim and say you be break 8 no. Now say break 8 now. Say we must go beyond our party and canvass support from the whole of our country. I know the 60 regions are much in Iran. Their meeting is say Ashanti region for say IPP delegates. Samudi ala de ba ya beto abamamo for region for say Samudi MPP modi alamba ya beto abamamo Ati wadi Sabio aya adesre ebi se anya me nko na yakoto me so aba adehye wo party mu bebre aso begina nemom madam madiaga na fo kan se enka wo nyina fata mom na so so modi alamba dia e wa to aba Motie we ka sem ya chromo se MPP for say Alan Edru so a efata if say Mason party no if in 1992 mede ma ho den mede me nyansa mede me sika from 1922 with the Agua party na mana tinti anwa chi soso montie me beda mase to boy beda mase anwa chi soso masum Ghana mai anya party no kwa masum abai masum Ghana so say muya candiphobia or political experience and maturity say the Ghana for here any obia obetwa ka Ghana bom.
Well, meanwhile, some members of the New Patriotic Party have rubbished an Economist Intelligence Unit report that predicts the National Democratic Congress is likely to emerge victorious in the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections in Ghana.
I wonder what the EIU saw or did to arrive at that conclusion. As we speak, let somebody tell me one policy direction that JDM had pronounced in all his, gallivanting, let me say. I'm telling you, if JDM was rather to be on this seat, would have suffered worse than what we are seeing now. I don't believe the EIU report. Well, who is the EIU report? I believe in my own report.
The trend is that every 8 years we change government. So anybody can sit in the comfort of his or her room and make a prediction. What we are about to do is unprecedented. There's no party that has won power 3 consecutive times. So if they are saying that, yes, it's going to be difficult for us, it is true. And that is why we are saying, even though they are saying it's difficult, even though you and I believe it's going to be difficult, but with the candidacy of Honorable Alan Chimanting, it's going to be easy.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Please do stay. Welcome back. Now, the CIMAF Ghana Limited, producers of a wide range of cement, has launched a new cement product called the Kantinka Cement. According to the Director of Sales and Marketing at CIMAF Ghana Limited, Joseph Kobina Abo, the new product is strong in nature and is designed to withstand all weather conditions. There's more in the following report.
CIMAF Ghana's new Kantinka cement is designed to prevent cracks in buildings and also prevent easy collapse of structures. The new Kantinka cement comes at an affordable price to customers. Speaking in an interview, Director of Sales and Marketing at CIMAF Ghana Limited, Joseph Kobina Abo, said the new cement is stronger and efficient for use.
The function of every cement is to develop strength. So we look at the strength level in the market and we have designed a cement that is the highest cement in the market. You can find out cement with 32.5, 42.5. These are strength levels that gives you when you work with it. So the current cement Kantinka which is 52.5, tells us that we have come out to the cement with the most highest strength in the system, in the market. So we are only advising or informing the general public that the cement that is available to give you higher strength in Ghana now is Kentinka cement. So if you are working on the construction sector, if you are building bridges, if you are building roads, if you are putting on high-rising building, the best cement you can use is the Kentinka.
General Manager of CIMAF Ghana Limited, Benis Mohammed, said the new product will address the construction needs in the country.
We believe the construction sector is the key of the development of Ghana. This can only be manifested when we have quality and durable products for the construction sector. We have provided the construction world with variety through the production of different grades of cement. Until today, CIMAF counts 5 grades of cement on the Ghanaian market. We are proud. We are proud to introduce to you not just another grade, but also a stronger grade that the commercial sector of construction needs, especially in this era of economic crunch.
Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Michael Otribefi, added that government plans to clamp down on organizations selling low-quality cements, leading to the collapse of buildings.
Now, most of the cement companies in Ghana are advertising something and giving different products. That is a worry to the national security of this country and also the Ministry of Trade and Industry. Companies are advertising numbers different from the quality of products they are putting into the market. And that is not the way to go. The good news is that CIMAF is not part of companies who are involved in such practice. And therefore, we want to encourage them to do their best. Effective next week, I have directed the Ghana Standards Authority to pick their whip. So they will pick their canes and they will start going round. We are going to crack their whip. I'm sure from next week, companies in the cement industry will see some signs that government is so much interested in the service they provide to the good people of this country and the product they deliver to Ghanaians.
The new Kentinka cement has a medium comprehensive strength.
Well, that's all for business. We'll take a quick break and we're back with sports. Welcome to sports. Now, Accra returned to winning ways as they defeated Kinfaiso by 2-0 at the Accra Sports Stadium. The Phobians have been on a 2-match winless run after defeat to Bechem United and Tamale City. So for sports.
The Phobians.
Well, that's all we have for you for the bulletin to this afternoon. There's more on myjoyonline.com/sports, entertainment, and more over there. My name is Razak Musbau, and do enjoy the rest of our show. Up next is The Law with Samson Ladia.